In terms of advice for next year's graduate nursing program, just make sure you practice with all your interviews. Just find somebody to practice on, jot down a bunch of questions and list them, and just keep practicing, build some confidence. You'll feel confident going in, but as soon as you're confronted with the the grad nurse educators, it's a bit confronting and a bit nerve-wracking, but just sort of stick to your guns and what you practiced and just relax. They're very supportive, and yeah. Being 1 month in, I had about 3 days of orientation. So we went through, refreshed all my uni life. I actually went overseas for 6 months prior, so I was a little disconnected from what I'd learnt from university. So having those 3 initial days brought a lot of memories back and got me back into the swing of things. You have your 2 preceptorship days where they sort of baby you through the whole process before you get stuck into having all your own patients. It was very daunting to think, oh, I'm going to have 4 patients to myself, and these poor people will just vulnerable, which is how I approached it. But you go in, there's a lot of support network around the hospital. There's always nurses coming to help you out, so you're never alone. And yeah, the doctors on my ward were great in cardiology. They would always help me and baby me through the process, so it's not as overwhelming and confronting as you'd think. So just relax and you'll be right. The most challenging thing for me, I found stepping into the nursing environment, would be my time management, just getting everything done on time. But I find that keeping a log and having a time management plan was probably the best thing that I did. So it just listed everything you needed to do, from doing your safety checks and OBS in the morning, getting your BSLs done on time, and just making sure your patients have got all their meds as a priority. And then everything sort of fits in around that. It's very slow to sort of, it took me about 2 weeks to get a feel for the ward and sort of have get used to the procedures and paperwork and all that sort of stuff, but eventually it all comes naturally. Everyone helps you out. Networking and socialising with the grads, you meet a lot of grads on your first day during orientation, but because I was alone on a ward, or the only grad on our ward, I didn't really have a lot of people to talk to. But we have the study days and the tutes and stuff in place every week where you see some familiar faces, and you sort of feel you're behind the 8 ball, but you sort of have a chat to your other fellow grad nurses, and they sort of reinforce that you're still a novice, and it's all good. You don't have to really jump the gun and be a professional and know everything. So you just keep learning, and yeah. The most rewarding thing for me is just having the patients, just the feedback, and them just knowing you made a difference. Like, you finish a shift and you just wrecked. You know you've just done so much. It's physically and mentally drained because everything's so new. But at the end of the day, you just know that you've made a change, and it's just really rewarding. Yeah.